So yesterday we got a story about Gwen Stefani on her hell and torture over Gavin Rossdale's cheating. And it just stood out to me, for one, I used to really love this guy's band, and that's why I checked out the article. But I've just seen a lot of hell written in headlines on CNN. It seems like there's just been a lot of headlines involving the word hell. So I checked it out. Notice how they just highlight hell and torture. Hell torture equals 154. I just talked about 154 in the previous video. The Fresh Prince equals 154. Princess Camilla equals 154. Tons of other 154, but it's definitely connected to the royal theme. Gavin Rossdale, her husband, just so happens to equal 146 and 56. Prince of Wales equals 146, United Kingdom 146, a number that I keep mentioning, even in regards to the 8-7, the August 7th date. That's the halfway point between Queen Elizabeth's 64th and 65th anniversary of being queen. It's 183 days both ways. That day leaves 146 days until the end of the year. Queen Elizabeth II in Gematria even equals 87. A whole bunch more, like I said, but Gwen Stefani also equals 123 and 51, just like the word conspiracy, and a whole bunch of other 51 connections that I could talk about, but I'm going to move on. So, this article says that Gwen Stefani will never forget February 9th, 2015, the day that she learned her husband of 14 years was cheating on her with the family's nanny. 14 just seems to be popping up a lot lately, like I talked about the Indians winning streak. 14 was also a big number in the College World Series. In regards to the whole statements about hell and whatnot, 14 is also an important number in the bloodline of Jesus Christ. They say all the generations from Abraham to David are 14. From David until the carrying away into Babylon are 14, and carrying away into Babylon into Christ are 14. Just interesting in regards to hell, I guess. But, so this article, it goes back, clear back to February 9th, 2015, which I thought, man, that's pretty long ago that they would bring this article back up or whatever. Ohio equals 29, like I said, Iowa, the 29th state. Anyway, I took February 9th to the day that this article came out on 7/6 of 2016. Just so happened to be 513 days. Now, go figure. I have a ton of videos on this May 13th date. It seemed like they're just really showing me May 13th or something in regards to 134, 135, and 165. I kept getting shown these numbers over and over. May 13th was the 134th day of the year. So I thought, and then, 135, 13/5 can even be May 13th. And I was also getting shown 513 a lot. And it was like, so it just seemed like something significant about May 13th. Possibly it's next year. Maybe it's nothing to do with that day, I said. There's just something in regards to these numbers that coincide with May 13th. So what's interesting about this, I just discovered a few more things in regards to it. So I got a weird comment just a few weeks ago about too much time on my hands that my uncle had also wrote on Facebook, and then I got a comment on one of my old videos about Freddie Gray, and I had put that video out 513 days before they left this comment. Also, YouTube gave my video about 22 Jump Street a copyright claim, and it was right after I put out the Death of Prince video, and it just so happened to be on April 23rd, which was 5 months and 13 days after my 33rd birthday. The video that they had copyright claimed just so happened to come out 513 days before Prince died. I had talked about how Obama, can't remember what the thing was, but he turned into the demon on Snapchat and he said Obamacare is great and it's really working. The adds up to 513. I was really talking about rigged basketball like no other. 513. If you write out 513, it equals 107 just like King Charles, just like Earthquake, which I've mentioned a whole lot. But for whatever the reason, I went back and looked at the very first conspiracy video that I've ever made and put on YouTube. Interesting, it just so happened to be on 4/23 of 2014, which was 5 months, 13 days after my 30th birthday. So, I mean, there's something significant about this date as well in regards to the 513. This was the day I also said that King Charles II was coronated and whatnot, the restoration. Anyway, in regards to May 13th, I had talked a lot about this movie Money Monster because they showed the 923 in the movie. It stars George Clooney. I made a whole bunch of videos about Prince's death in regards to some type of moon theme, you know. Kevin Love for Halloween was even Jackie Moon, and LeBron James was Prince. The Simpsons that killed Prince on 11/2. They also killed off Neil Armstrong, the first guy to walk on the moon, and also George Clooney. Just so happened to be on 11/2. Prince died on the 112th day of the year. Tons more to it. But I was just talking about Money Monster. I never did go watch Money Monster in the theater, but I did go watch this movie. And it's just interesting because I never even heard of it. My girlfriend didn't want to go see Money Monster because she knew what I was going to watch it for and blah, blah, blah. But I watch every movie for it, you know what I mean? It doesn't even matter. But never even heard of this movie. She had wanted to see it because it was a scary movie. It just so happened to come out on May 13th. I'm not sure of the exact day that I saw this movie. But this movie is about this autistic kid who on the family vacation goes into the mountains and he takes these rocks, these ancient rocks from the Anasazi Indians or whatever, and then he takes them back home and ends up haunting their house, and then it's like they're trying to open up a portal to our world and whatnot. So I just kind of find it weird that now I'm noticing this Native American theme, and I actually went and watched this movie that's all about the Anasazi Indians, or however you pronounce that. And, they just disappeared off the map. They also, interestingly enough, just so happened to be in the same area that the Ute Indians were, like, inhabited or whatever. And, Utah is named after the Ute Indians. Literally, that's Utah, the big Mormon place. And, I talked about Big Elk and the Omaha Indians, and he signed an illegal treaty to bring the Mormons in to help protect and whatnot. But let's move on here. Man, stupid trackpad. So also notice the article above about Gwen Stefani. She was interviewed by Harper's Bazaar magazine. Harper's Bazaar in gematria just so happens to equal 134, just like King Charles III. And then, of course, May 13th, the 134th day of the year. One of the things I never showed earlier, I guess, was I talked about how there's a huge X theme and whatnot. King Charles III equals 300 in Jewish gematria. But Gwen Stefani's ex-husband, Gavin Rossdale, was also the lead singer of the band Bush. Bush also equals 300 in Jewish gematria, so just find that kind of interesting. And then his name even equals 146, which connects to Prince of Wales, which King Charles III is, or Prince Charles is. Anyway, the article later goes on to talk about Stefani being the voice on The Judge and her relationship with Blake Shelton. And The Voice just reminds me of Christina Grimmie, the death of Christina Grimmie in Orlando. And then we had the gay nightclub shooting, and all the Native American stuff I'm talking about also stems from Orlando. And it's interesting, the gay nightclub shooting. Gwen Stefani, I remember a few years back, or like 10 years ago probably, a whole bunch of people were talking about her and Lady Gaga actually being men and whatnot. I just wanted to point that out because, just it goes along with the theme or whatever, that she was really born a man, and who knows. Anyway, I guess the last thing I wanted to show about this was that her husband has a song called Adrenaline that he wrote for the Triple X soundtrack. Once again, the X theme. But it also goes on to say that The Undertaker used it, also was The Undertaker's desired tribute theme of that same year. The Undertaker been a huge topic this year. He even got his WrestleMania streak was broken the same year that Ultimate Warrior died, but it was at WrestleMania XXX. And I talked about all this in my College World Series videos. Undertaker equals 54 in Gematria. The Ultimate Warrior died at age 54. Coastal Carolina equals 54. Chanticleers equals 54. Baseball equals 54. Their college was founded in 54. Omaha founded in 1854. Tons of 54 around the College World Series. And they even used The Undertaker and Ultimate Warrior. Last thing I want to point out, I guess, in regards to the hell and the torture stuff, Gavin Rossdale just so happened to be Balthazar in the movie Constantine, about keeping the balance between heaven and hell. Constantine equals 134. And of course, the real Constantine, who I've talked about previously, he played a part in the Edict of Milan that was in 313 AD. And the Edict of Milan was, to create religious tolerance for Christians and whatnot. But interesting, the year 313. I've talked about this before, but Pope Francis even became the Pope on 3/13 of 2013. If you write out the mark of the beast, 600, 6, it also equals 313. But anyway, I just wanted to show this article really quick. Definitely connected to the royal theme once again. Then when I saw the 513, and then I remembered seeing this movie, The Darkness, that just so happened to come out on 513, and it has to do with the Native American theme once again, I decided I would make a quick video on it. My next two videos are going to be about the death of Alton Sterling and Philando Castile, and how it connects to William McKinley and also the Native American theme yet again. And it won't be that in-depth. There's some other better videos and whatnot, but the thing that I'm showing is the definite reason why they chose these two places to do these shootings. And whatever. I'll get into it. See you in the next video. Have a good one.